All right. Hi, guys, obviously, for sticking around for the animal abuse presentation I'm going to be giving. This is a persuasive one. Um, this is just called Stop Animal Abuse Together, Paw by Paw. As I stand before you today, I am a witness to animal abuse in my home that has occurred to me while I was a child and even now. It is so awful to go through. Just like the studies show, families that have animal abuse are much more likely to have neglect and some other form of abuse against the other members of the household, whether it be the children or another significant other. I would know as I saw and went through it myself. It's almost 50% of the reason why I actually chose to go to Nazareth College. Came actually here to get away from my mother and stepfather with their toxic and abusive methods of dealing with me and my animals, which is actually partially why I had to put down my cat in March, who was only 2 years old. I'm only one of many, many stories. As I mentioned earlier, animal abuse cases lead to criminal cases, and many studies have been shown to support this theory. In specifics, the Chicago Police Department found that local criminals who have been convicted of animal abuse have also had a higher correlation to domestic violence in a household. This connects with my personal experience again and correlates and supports that any family that goes through animal abuse is also going to have a higher chance of someone else being abused in that household. To stop and decrease these cases of animal abuse, we're also going to be helping decrease the amount of domestic abuse that is going to be found in the United States as well as globally. In another study I found, it's by the International Journal for the Study of Animal Problems, explains that households where children are abused by parents or other household members are also related and have had a higher percentage of animal abuse or neglect found in them as well. If this is so prevalent and understood by the different police departments and journals, then why are there not more laws about animal abuse? Why do animal abusers as kids or adolescents never be taken seriously by the people around them, like their parents or teachers or even other peers? Why do, if this is the lack of care or the blissful ignorance, then those people are helping create abusers, and there should be honestly punishment for that. You shouldn't tell people that there is only one way good of parenting, but I do think that we should be telling people how not to parent your kids. You know, letting your kids hit the cat, pull its tail, or even worse, slamming its tail in between a doorway and hearing it screech in pain with the broken bones or even just fractures, and not punishing them severely by taking away things or at least scolding them or sitting down with them, talking about how it's not right, is not helping the situation of the animals and for what the child is to become in the future. This is not exclusive to just household animals, as there is animal abuse happening in so many more places. The controversies about SeaWorld, circuses, trainers, and even labs that have animal testing, all of those places have it too. They're just not talked about. The media just does not confront it enough. Did you know that roughly 1 million animals per year die or either are passing in some sort of household from abuse? This is found from the Humane Society, and this number is already too high. Helping lower these cases will not only help out the animals, but the people around us too, which is making this that much more important. Unfortunately, if this was not enough, according to the ASPCA's website, approximately 1.5 million shelter animals are euthanized a year, with it being around 670,000 cases for dogs and 860,000 for cats. This is more than the cases combined of animal abuse alone, meaning that the number basically doubled and is still not counting any lab animals or entertainment animals like the water park, circus, and trainers. These are likely because of the kill shelters, but it still does not detract from the high number of animal deaths. I understand that some people are, going to argue that the priority of taking actions to lower the numbers of animal cases are not that important. To be current with the news, as I'm sure you all are aware, COVID-19 is a much more serious case right now, and I completely agree with them on that fact. In the United States, roughly at the time, there was over 209,000 people who have already passed from it, with the worldwide number being over 1 million. It's not even been a year yet. The other situation is that there are some people who will talk about prioritizing animal abuse is kind of the idea of hypocrisy in the consuming animals if we cared so much about them. They argue that carnivorous animals, well, eat animals. It's true. However, not everybody can go vegan or vegetarian. Do they realize that some people cannot afford to cut meat out of their diet? As becoming vegan or vegetarian can get expensive? Going to vegan products like makeup and skincare easily get pricey for the average person. It'd be unfair to expect them to stop the use of animal products all at once. Overall, I hope that this was able to open your eyes to the truth about animal abuse and how much more current and how much higher the numbers are. I know that everybody has their own opinions, but the animals cannot voice their own, they cannot vote, and they look to us for protection. While I know perfect person, I do know that a decent human being should look after and give respect to all living creatures, even if they do not speak the same language or maybe have a tail or some scales. So, if you leave with anything today, do not let the news devalue the sheer amount of cases of animals dying around you and help a fellow being out when you can. Thank you.